I have given a name to my pain. The Batman.
Always waiting for some Batman to save you.
It's simple. We kill the Bat of Gotham.
You don't really think you'll win, do you?
I'm Batman.
Hey now, welcome to
Welcome Horns. Sorry.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Yes. I mean, I'm with you on that, Rick.
I'm just wearing my hat and my Batman Longhorn shirt just because we had a victory yesterday, sir. It was a very ugly victory, but it was a victory nonetheless. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt the intro.
I'm happy the Longhorns won, but you can't be having 21 games with University of Tulsa. No offense to the University of Tulsa at all, but I'm sorry.
To be fair, they were an undefeated team.
Yes.
Okay.
But they're a lower level.
Well, it's a dumb
football
joke. There's been one game.
Yes.
There's been one game. Anyway, moving on. What vlog number is this, Bill?
This is 31. 31 that you messed up. 31, third episode or show, whatever you want to call it, 31 of the Batman on Film vlog, which will be, the name is going to change, and this is probably the last time we'll call it the Batman on Film vlog, because we're going to rebrand and we're going to have Rick looking a whole lot better, hopefully, the next time we are recording this show. I don't mean from, Rick's going to be going through, going to go have a complete facial and all sorts of work and body treatment done and have a hairstylist and makeup artist come in, which he would like, I'm sure. But what I'm talking about is Rick has Batman on Film got Rick a camera, which that's a whole nother story, Rick, correct? I mean, just plug it in and go.
There's been technical difficulties in my world for a long while.
You told me that this kind of shit happens to me with technology all the time.
All the time. And the only thing that gives me solace is, like, I reached out to one of my best friends who's also a professional IT guy, does my bar, for instance. It's how it's not how I know him, but that's part of my relationship. Anyway, neither here or there. But I had him look at this thing, and he said, I just got through putting together this whole system at this law firm that's 3 stories with cameras and emails and everything. And he said, and I can't get this rinky-dink MFing camera to talk to your freaking computer, dude. That was his whole, but it gives me solace because in his head, he's thinking, man, Rick just doesn't know how to plug in a damn camera. And he's like, all right, touche. This was not, you're not computer illiterate. You are just bad luck. Bad luck shoe with technology.
And then was it Friday? We talked, and you're like, my freaking internet's been down for like 4 days in a row.
I was rolling into a football draft that I put together. And by the way, I had to miss the Batman on Film draft because of something with work. So that sucked. So here I'm rolling into one I manufactured, put together at the last minute. And 15 minutes as the countdown. If you've ever done fantasy football, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, 15 minutes. Everybody's set up. You have to roll. It starts. You can't stop it. My internet crashes. Internet crashes. It's been down ever since. Changing internet companies, sir. I don't want to publicly bash who I use, but just know at this time tomorrow, I will no longer be a customer, and we'll have brand new internet.
Good. That's
and I live 20 minutes from downtown Dallas. I'm not out in the sticks. I'm in a suburb of, I don't know how many people are in Plano. I don't know. 2 million? I don't know. A lot of people. So, I'm just saying. This is inexcusable. Anyway, for the 5 people that are still watching that aren't bored to tears from this conversation, maybe we should
there 2
move
million
on.
People in Plano. It's not.
I don't know. I just pulled that out of my ass. I don't know.
There's a good chunk of people. Yeah.
Million people in Plano?
What's the Dallas-Fort Worth area?
800,000? I'm terrible. I'm terrible at stuff like this.
All right.
I'll tell you, there's 1.2 billion people in the U.S.
All right.
350. 380?
Yes.
Where are we at right now? 380 million?
Around that, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's move on here.
Yeah, let's please do.
Episode 31 of the Batman on Film vlog. I am the founder of Batman on Film, Bill Jett Ramey, and of course with me is Rick Shew. All right, let's get to the show. We're going to talk a little bit about, we're going to kind of bury something. Like we kind of, remember Rick, we did a show and we kind of just laid BVS and Justice League to rest and just that was it and moved on. And really, we really haven't spoke a lot about it since. So we're
not on shows. Yeah, no.
We're going to do that for the Ben Affleck version of the Batman.
Until an official announcement comes out, is next time I want to talk about this. Yes. Like who's Batman?
Yes.
Okay, so this is it.
We'll be talking about the Batman, Matt Reeves, the Batman, but this previous incarnation. So here's my thing, Rick, and you may disagree, but I'll throw it out there. I'm of the opinion that, and I wrote about this a year and a half ago for the first time, that I think that it was the Ben Affleck version of this film was doomed from the beginning. The moment he signed on to be Batman in what would end up being BVS in August of 2013, everyone assumed, including me, that Ben Affleck, the great Ben Affleck, and he is, I'm a fan, but the Argo, the Good Will Hunting, the writer of Good Will Hunting, the director of Argo, the town, was going to write, direct, and star in the next solo Batman film, and I think the pressure on him had to be extraordinary. I don't think that doing a Batman film was something, or a superhero film for that matter, was something he ever aspired to do.
Again,
as either as an actor, as a writer, or as a director, especially after Argo, man. You know, that film was awesome.
In his post Daredevil world, yeah.
And so he gets where he's going to direct the Batman. You know, he him and hawed about it. You know, he signed on, I'm just playing Batman. Then it was going to be, you know, okay, I'm going to write and direct this solo Batman film. To me, it's something that if you don't aspire to do it, if you don't have a passion, you don't have a vision, you don't have a story, then it's hard to come up with a script. Now, we know he came up with a script, obviously. I mean, we know that Deathstroke was in it. And we know that Jeff Johns came on board and helped co-write it at one point. And then even not long before he bailed out of it as director, he had Chris Terrio come in and do a polish, rewrite, whatever you want to call it. And he made a lot of comments that I'm not going to make this movie if it's not up to par, if it's not up to snuff. And I don't think it was ever up to snuff, Rick. That's just my personal opinion. I have a little bit of inside on that, you know, but nothing. But this is mostly my opinion, and I think that's one of the main reasons he walked away from it. I mean, you know, I don't have a story that's good enough for me to put out there as with my name on it as director. And
yeah, well, there's been some people. There's been some people that have publicly come forward saying recently that they read it, they loved it, and that's fine. They're entitled to their opinion, and maybe they did, maybe it was great to them. All I would say is I don't know. What I do know is, or what I think, what is my opinion, I just think this poor guy's personal life is it's hindering him from getting this done, because this is a huge undertaking, as you said. It's a huge commitment. And it's
2 years of your life.
It's 2 years of your life.
He's a director.
Right, and he's also the star. And unfortunately, for whatever your personal views are, I'm just talking about how it should have been received. His Batman is not universally embraced. It didn't pick up the Chris Nolan mantle and run with it. It went in a different direction, which was great. It just didn't quite. I say this, and I know that the fans of these films will attack me, but it didn't work for you. That's great. When I say it didn't work from an overall business perspective. It didn't do what it needed to do to be the catalyst for goodwill and for them to move forward to make more of these films.
That Batman, and I've said it before, his performance in BVS was very good, but that depiction of Batman did not resonate with general audiences. So you got that thing too. And that's what this movie would have been. And I think that probably, if I had to guess, that's probably part of why this was also so difficult for him, is that he had to make this script. He had to, he wanted, he's more or less said this publicly, that I'm going to paraphrase him here, but he has certainly referenced how much he loves the Nolan films and the first Tim Burton film, or maybe even both Tim Burton films for that matter. But anyway, and he wanted his Batman to have that sort of gravitas, that sort of stature in cinema. He wasn't going to put something out that wasn't on that level.
That's right. And then he had to follow through with those films, and then he also had to have the continuity of the films that didn't quite work. And then on top of all that, and I think most importantly, is his personal life. And I say that because I personally know alcoholics. And some of them are functioning alcoholics. Some of them are not. And I think if I had to guess, just based on what I've seen, and this sounds gossipy, so I almost don't like talking about this, but there's just enough stuff that's leaked. You see footage of him in the backseat of the car with his ex-wife. It's terribly sad. I think this guy needs to just get his shit together, his personal life. And I don't think the stars lined up for this, man. I think there was just too much from the pressure of the film in itself, period, to the continuity of stuff that didn't quite work, to his personal issues. It's just too much. And so there you have it.
And it's, and it's getting back just to the straight up, from a director and professional point of view, not anything with his personal life. You got to have a burning passion and some kind of route, some kind of direction and story you want to go if you're going to do excuse me, one of these type of films. And I mean, Nolan had a take. He contacted Warner Brothers, and he pitched the idea, and they went with it. And then we got the Dark Knight trilogy. Matt Reeves went in, and he goes, "This is what I would do. This is how I would do it. I would do this, and blah blah blah, etc. etc. If you don't want to do it, that's fine. I understand." And they wanted to. That's why he came on board. I just don't think Affleck ever had that. The script might have been good. It might have been okay. I don't think it was on the level. It certainly wasn't the level that Ben Affleck felt comfortable with putting out there. I mean, he said that himself, basically. And to me, if it was great, I mean, if it was Dark Knight level, fantastic, great film, and take out even the superhero comic book aspect, just if it was a great script that could produce a great film, Warner Brothers tosses it just because Affleck steps down as director?
Well, there's two schools of thought on this. Let's just say that it's possible that he did have a great script. I don't know. I didn't read it. That's step one. Step two is still being able to take on the project as a director and as an actor. I don't think he was in a place to do it. And let's just say that that's what happened. And then let's say Matt Reeves steps in and says, yeah, that's a damn good script, but that's not the direction I want to go in. It's not necessarily what I'm saying is going to be better. What I'm saying is going to be better for me and better for this project, because I'm going to direct something
I agree exactly.
That has my vision. So maybe, Bill, maybe it was a great script. Who the hell knows? Maybe Matt Reeves' script is just a little better, or maybe they just had enough belief in Matt Reeves himself as a filmmaker that they're going to let him do his thing. And if that's the case, man, that's a good thing for all of us.
That's a good thing to get him on board to do that. I still would say if that thing was a great script that would be a great movie, they would have got a director for hire in here and filmed that thing with Affleck.
Very possibly. But you know as well as I do, this is a nuanced, crazy business.
Yes.
I'm just saying it is possible that Reeves rolled in and said, "Damn good script. My idea is better for me."
And here's the point we're getting to.
And maybe the exec said, "Wow, Affleck's script was great. Looked at Reeves' script. Wow, this one's even better.
Yeah,
let's move forward."
All of that are possibilities that are
right.
That could have could have been the case. Here's the bottom line.
Because I just want to say this before you say bottom line. Hold on. Is that I just don't want to imply, and I know that you don't mean to do this, but I'm certainly not going to sit here and imply that that Hollywood and studios don't let great things not happen, because they certainly do.
Oh, I'm sure.
You know, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure there were a lot of Superman scripts. I can almost guarantee there were that were much better than what Bryan Singer ended up putting out for Superman Returns back in 2005, 2006.
No. Rick, really?
You don't think so? I'm not necessarily talking about Superman Lives.
I know the J.J. Abrams thing was goofy as hell.
But I'm just saying that script isn't, that Bryan Singer Superman Returns script was not very good. Surely there was probably something better, is all I'm saying.
Well, you know about the J.J. Abrams thing. You know, he was on it. He was attached to it at one time, right?
Yeah, but I can't remember what his premise was.
Lex was a Kryptonian.
Okay. Did you read it?
I know about it.
Okay,
I'll put it that way. I know enough, and then
that wasn't a hot seat thing. That was a genuine question.
No, and that's out there. And like the Superman's ring. I mean, Superman's ring. Superman's costume was in some kind of ring, and it shot out like frickin' the Flash. You know, I don't know if you remember back. You know, the Flash his costume was in a ring. You know, back in the day. I don't know if it's still in there in the comics, but back in the 50s and 60s, that's how it shot out of a ring. It was, you know.
Well, listen, that sounds better. I for one am not someone that wishes that the Tim Burton Nick Cage film was made. The more I see about that thing, it's an interesting documentary, but that looked like garbage.
That was beyond. That's beyond even that. Yeah.
And I'll say this. I know this is a little off topic here, but you know, I brought it up. When I was auditioning for Superman Returns back between like 03 and 04, or 02 and 04, originally we were reading off the script from Superman the movie. You were auditioning for scenes in that, much like probably Henry Cavill, as we know, did, and Brandon Routh at one point. But when we started getting the sides for a new script, man, talk about garbage. There's some goofy ass scenes in there, dude. Clark and Lois were like at a fraternity party, and just anyway. Moving on. So you were gonna make a final point on this.
Yes, we're gonna put this to bed, like I told you, and I wrote this on Batman film. It doesn't matter if what I think possibly could have happened. In my opinion, that he never really had a story. That's why it didn't come together. It doesn't matter if it was the best script ever produced in the history of Hollywood. It don't matter. None of it's not happening. It's right. That film is not happening. Period.
Right.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
100% agree. It doesn't matter. And I want to, even though I just took kind of trashed Hollywood and studios, I will trust them on this thing. I will trust Matt Reeves. And the proof will be in the pudding anyway when we see the film. But I feel like that we're in great hands, man.
Yes, and going forward, I will say this. Just no matter how good or bad Affleck's script was, Matt Reeves had a story. He had a take. He pitched it. Warner Brothers liked it. He stepped away from it one time because they weren't apparently going to give him as much creative control as he wanted on this project, and then they did, and boom. And that's the way it should be. I mean, he should have gotten that sort of, look, here's what I want to do, guys.
Right.
Are you with me or not? If not, it's fine. We'll shake hands. I'll still work with you later on.
I'm a writer and a director. Here's my vision for this film. Okay? If you want this vision, I'm your guy. Let's do it. If not, I'm out.
Yeah. So, we're going to put the other to bed. It doesn't matter anymore. Look forward to what Reeves is doing with the Batman, which... Look, we talked on the phone the other day because you asked me, you said, when do you think we're going to hear something about casting? And I said, well, if they're really going to go in front of the camera in April, May, or June, somewhere, early to the middle of next year, should be pretty damn soon, Yeah, I mean, they should start. Pretty damn soon. That's a good point. They really should probably, based on what we know on the timeline, they should be
starting to film here. By this time next year, they should be knee deep in it.
Bale was announced as Batman in July, around July. It was in the summer, so I'll just say July of 2003. And they started filming in February of 2004. That's when they went to Iceland or Greenland, wherever they filmed that scene on the glacier. So that's, that's about a half a year out type of deal, So look, we're almost there, man. We're almost at that point. So I would say if you're watching and are listening and you wonder, hey, that's probably when it's going to start. If they're going to film starting next year, before the end, I'm talking the first part, the spring to early summer, we'll start hearing stuff here pretty soon. So
I'm excited, man.
Yeah,
I'm excited. I'm excited for a lot of things coming.
It will have been next year. 2019 back to 2011. So 8 years since actually actively covered a solo Batman film. And
when I start thinking about it, and I think about Wonder Woman 84, I think about Shazam, I think about Star Wars Episode 9, and especially when I think about the Batman, there's a lot of really cool stuff on the horizon.
Okay. Yeah, so that's going to be fun. That will be fun. All right, you want to answer some questions from the mailbag?
Yeah, did you want to have any comments on the Joker film before we get to that?
Look, real quick, I've got...
And I'll frame it this way.
Okay,
I'm just watching fans' reactions online, particularly people that follow us, even on our private Facebook page. And I feel like, and look, we all speculate and we all are guilty of this to an extent, but I feel like there's a lot of prejudging this movie.
Oh, there's a lot. That's where I was.
And a very almost weird way too. It's like I'm trying to think when's the last time I've seen something so prejudged based on, I guess some of it started with the fact that it's in a vacuum, meaning that it's just going to be a standalone film. And then this whole Alec Baldwin as Thomas Wayne going to play him in this 1980s Donald Trump fashion, and then he tweets out that he's not doing the film, and so there's a little goofiness going on. But I mean, people are just
fans are they're thinking in a box, in a vacuum. They're thinking comic book movie, and this is not comic book movie. It's something different. I mean, I think it's something we haven't really seen before. I mean, maybe you could say that Tim Burton with Batman Returns is kind of like this, because that's a Tim Burton film, dude. Sure, like it or not. But I would just here's what my thing is. I'll see it and then I'll judge it, and I'm not going to prejudge it. I'm going to look at it fairly, and I'll give my opinion on it. But I do applaud them for trying to do something different. I mean, I do. I mean, come on, do something different.
I'm going to make a prediction here. We're going to get the first teaser trailer. I don't think we're going to see the Joker in makeup or perma white or whatever, and not in the first trailer. If we, I don't want to say see him at all. I'm assuming we will in the film, but it's up for speculation how much. But I think there's going to be some jaw-dropping WTFs across the internet when that trailer drops. I think people are going to be trying to figure out what the hell to make of it. Maybe in a little bit, kind of like the Venom trailer, the first teaser, something along those lines. I think it's going to stir up some real interesting debates. I think this is even way more moving away from comic book mythos and history and putting really adapting. I mean, when I say adapting it, then even Venom is. So, but look, like I said, I'll judge it for what it is once it comes out. That's all I can say, and I agree with you 100%. People are, it's a lot of this, Rick. It's like, how do you have a Joker movie without Batman? Okay, again, you're thinking comic book, man. I mean, and I understand. I get it. It's hard to not think that, and they're not thinking comic book. They're thinking, all right, we're going to take this character, and we're going to do this with it, and just use it as inspiration more as an adaptation. That's all I got really on Joker. I was just curious because we've talked about it.
Yeah, that's all I got, man.
Now you're on the record, man.
So are Are you like?
I obviously have no idea what they're doing. All I can say is that I think that your take is probably pretty accurate. I think that they, I don't think they have handcuffs on them on this thing.
No,
that's my feeling on it.
Look, it's smaller budget. It's coming out in October. It's not something they expect to make $1 billion. You know, it's not a popcorn summer or whenever, you know, just a popcorn comic book flick. It's something different. It's more of a drama. It's more something different, like I said. All right. Yeah. All right. Let's answer some questions here. Okay, we'll take a few from Twitter. I see. I promised Gabe I would answer this. He says, do you know why Vermont Senator Patrick Leahy is always popping up in Batman movies? I do. He's a Batman fan.
He's a major Batman
fan.
And I have tried to get him on the show a few times. It's hard because he's still on Capitol Hill working every day.
He is. Batman and Robin was the first one he did. I don't think he's in Forever. I know he's in Batman and Robin. But yeah, I mean, that's why he's a Batman fan. And that's cool for him. I'm sure it's cool as hell.
He was in BVS.
Yes.
He was a great scene of The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
You know, Joker puts a knife up to his face.
You know what? You remind me of my
father.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hated my father.
Yeah. So great.
Yes. So
was he in Rises? I can't remember. I don't think so.
I'm not sure.
If he was more in the background.
Know what he was, dude? He is sitting at the. I'll probably be wrong, but I'm almost positive he is sitting at the. He's sitting at the table in the boardroom
with Dr. Crane.
No. When they boot Bruce Wayne from Wayne Enterprises, and Dark Knight Rises.
Okay. Is he? Okay, I'll have to look at it.
I think so.
Regardless, he's a fan.
That's why he's in it, yes.
Yes.
I bet he's got a hell of a collection of Batman stuff. So, yes, that'd be cool to get him on and talk about Batman. That would be nice. All right, our old friend Tom wants to know if we...
Tom who? McClellan?
Yes.
Oh,
he wants
that
to know,
bastard.
He wants to know if we'll do a Batman watch party in London for the Reese Batman movie.
Is he funding it?
Apparently, I think he's going to float. He's going to pay for everything, travel and hotel and a per diem for me and you as too.
Sounds like a plan. Hey, Tom, buddy,
Tom.
Just get to Texas, buddy.
You know, I would do.
Love London, but I'm just saying
I would do it. But I mean,
that's hard when I have a wife that loves to travel to Europe to say I'm going to London to see for a Batman party.
Yes.
With some.
You're more than welcome. You can host a satellite Batman on Film watch party there. No problem with that. All right. WW Rick at Batboat77 says or asks, are you worried with regards to the dead returning characters in Wonder Woman 1984, Steve Trevor, Antiope? I know we don't know the context, but I'm worried that the success of Wonder Woman may lead them to take fewer risks and make a similar movie.
I think that until Patty Jenkins proves me wrong, I'm going to trust her judgment. I have no reason not to at this juncture.
Well, Antiope is that's the she played Jenny in Forrest Gump.
Yeah, what's her? She's married to Sean Penn.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
Why am I not? Come on, Rick.
Anyway, I can't remember either.
That's her character. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I believe that's a flashback from what I heard.
Yeah.
And we'll see about Steve Trevor. Look, I mean, hey, Chris Pine signed up for more than one film. So even though
wait, she's going to be a flashback for sure. I'd put money on it. The Trevor thing, they can get clever with Trevor, right?
Yeah.
There's something that they can do. Who knows? I don't even really want to overly speculate, but some time travel or who knows?
I hope it. Robin Wright. That's who it is.
Robin Wright. Thank
Robin
you.
Wright. Yes. Hey, it could be. I mean,
she looked great in that film too. By the way.
It could be House of Cards. She's in that too. It could be just as simple as that's his great nephew. Looks just like him, and they named him after Great Uncle Steve, the World War I hero. But also, what about taking risk? I don't know. I mean, I don't think they're playing it safe by bringing those characters back at all. You know, I think it's to do this in 1984 is kind of make it a period piece is bold. You know.
Hey, that first still of him in his glorious '80s attire, standing on that '80s mall. I'm already hooked, man.
Look,
you kidding me, dude?
I graduated high school in 1984. They are on point with hairstyles, clothing. Rick, did you ever sport a members only jacket?
I had 2 or 3. I had members only, and I had denim jackets with rock and roll, and had the Clash and Hormones, Billy Idol.
Did you
buttons?
We called it pinch rolling. Did you ever pinch roll your jeans at the bottom?
Yes.
Okay.
Of course. I had the what were they called? Bugle Boy, something like that.
Yeah.
In Genera.
Bugle Boy, yeah.
And you'd flip them, and then there was like a cool design in the flip, but you didn't get the design until it flipped twice.
Did you ever sport a mullet?
Mullets are an interesting debate. What specifically is a mullet? Because if a mullet is simply just your hair's a little longer back here and your hair shorter, then yeah, I did. A lot of that had to do with the fact that my school, you couldn't have your hair below your collar, and so we would try to grow it out back there as much as we could to be rebellious. But then during the summer, I just grow my hair out. And at one point, I had long hair. I'll say this: I had long hair, all one length, down about right here, and I've got some cool pictures of it. I'd pull it back in the ponytail and everything.
Okay, I'm talking about.
Hold on, let me say this. No, I know. Hear me out.
Like Joe Dirt mullet.
Hear me out. When I cut that hair, I left the back.
Yeah.
And I put that in a ponytail. So I had like spiky hair in this ponytail. And I came home and a bunch of my buddies plastered Billy Ray Cyrus posters all over my wall. This was Billy Ray Cyrus.
Okay.
This was Billy Ray Cyrus when he had that.
You're talking early '90s here.
Yes, and they were sending me a signal. So I had an actual mullet for about 48 hours, and then I cut that shit off. I cut it off like Eddie Murphy cut that thing off in Coming to America. You remember that?
Yes,
that'll be $8.
Yeah, I had a mullet. I even went as far as I permed the back of it. Remember that look, Rick?
There were some guys that did that, man.
I did it once
in my school.
But yes.
Did you put highlights in the perm?
No, never had highlights. I will say that. But I did that. I did have the back perm, mullet, whole 9 yards. Yes. We completely went off the rails, but yeah. Reminiscent about it. I'm hooked on
Wonder Woman 84 is going to be awesome. I'm going to bring this around full circle.
Yes.
All right.
Should we grow a mullet so we can use it at the watch party, sport a mullet?
You know what? I think that the Wonder Woman 84 watch party, we should dress in 80s attire. I think that we should get Justin to make us with his glorious talent, make a cool BOF 80s logo shirts just for that movie.
Like 80s style? Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, yeah. You know what? That's a hell of an idea. Let me write that down.
Our Wonder Woman watch party. We'll do it in Austin because I think we announced that already, right?
No, not yet.
That was the Shazam.
Shazam.
We did the Shazam in Austin. Okay. That's right. Because Aquaman's going to be tough because that's December, and I'm personally a little concerned about that movie myself. But that's another conversation.
All right.
Anyway, so yeah, we need to have our watch party for Wonder Woman and tie it into an 80s. And I want us to all show up at whatever theater, looking like we just walked off the set of that movie.
Or off the set of Miami Vice.
Totally.
Yeah.
Or a Whitesnake video.
There's so many ways you could go with the 80s look. It's not just, I'm just thinking of the different subgroups in my school that, they all had it was all very 80s, but they were different. You had your rock and rollers, and you had this and that. I mean, good idea. I wrote that down. We're going to do that for the Wonder Woman 1984
Yes.
party. Yes, yes.
I think Justin will love that too.
Sounds awesome. All right, next.
And
question.
since Ryan was born in 1989, right? Wasn't he born in the 80s?
I think so.
I mean, he literally
Late
was
80s,
born in the 80s.
He missed. Yeah.
My wife was born in 1980.
1980.
I married young, dude.
So did I.
Anyway, moving on.
All right. Ryan wants to know, not Ryan Haas.
Ryan Helms.
Okay? Ryan Helms, yes, sir.
Yeah, good dude.
At R Helms 70. Can you talk about how, if at all, each changing of the guard at Warner Brothers DC Films affects your relationship with and the quantity of information you get from the studio, either from director to director or the changes at top? Thanks. Look,
That's a good question.
Yeah,
I don't know the answer. I don't even know the answer to that question.
I'll be honest. I've not had the access. And when I say access, I mean officially. The official access like I had with the Dark Knight trilogy with Nolan and Emma Thomas, Chris Nolan. I'll be honest. My relationship with the studio is very good. That hasn't changed.
You got a phone call from Zack Snyder. You guys talked. He gave you got to release the Justice League poster.
We released the first in-theater poster, yes.
So there was some stuff going on.
It was nothing. I mean, nothing like the Dark Knight trilogy days. Not like Dark Knight and Rises with that. I mean, that's some stuff I could talk about forever. The kind of access I had with that, and I appreciate it more than I can mention. I mentioned some of that when we did our Batman 20 interview, you and I.
If Matt Reeves' film is as good as I think it's going to be, and we will talk about it honestly like we always do, and BOF overwhelmingly it's reflecting positive on that film, I bet some of that access comes back to you.
I wouldn't, yeah, it probably, and I would say that people coming to me with information hasn't changed. I mean, because people know if they come to me, it's not going to be posted on Batman on Film. It's not going to be there. It's not going to be on Batman on Film, and only the stuff that they want out there will be on Batman on Film, and their identity will never be revealed. So that's just that hasn't changed. That hasn't changed at all, to be honest. All right, we'll do a few more, and then we will ease on down the road. So I was making a nice nod to the Wiz there, Rick.
We could just call this episode Random AF.
Yes.
The Random AF.
Yes. Okay. Let's see here. Trey Jackson wants to know if the continuity of Reeves' movie if it's confirmed. Is the continuity of Reeves' movie confirmed at this point? Is it a soft reboot Batman Forever approach or a hard reboot Batman Begins approach? We all know what we prefer, just wondering what will actually be the case. I honestly don't know. I think it's going to be a reboot. That's what I think.
Me too.
I think. I may be wrong, but that's what I think.
Me too.
Yep.
I don't think Jeffrey Irons is going to play Alfred.
Jeffrey Lyons may play Alfred.
I can't even like fake butchers. I don't even know what his real name is at this point. It's a mental block. So I may inadvertently say it correctly, thinking I'm saying it wrong.
Correctly, yes.
Yeah.
All right.
What is that? I don't even know what I said. It's so twisted in my head.
Okay, you said
you
said Jeffrey Irons.
Say it. It doesn't matter how many times you say it to me. I'm never. It's just one of those things.
Jeremy Irons played Alfred in BVS and Justice.
It's that gentleman's name,
Not
and my
Jeffrey
and my grandmother's red velvet cake recipe are two things I'll just never remember.
Okay, all right.
It is what it is.
Brad wants to know. I know you've been asked before, but who should be Batman in this flick? Referring to the Batman. An actor who can act his ass off.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I got. Yeah, I want him to look somewhat like Bruce Wayne. But, you know, an actor. I want an actor first and foremost. That's me.
Give me a guy that's played Hamlet well. You know, I'm serious, man.
And you know what? There are many fine actors who have leading man type looks who would be fine for the role. Look, I would love Armie Hammer to play Batman. I would, you know. He is, the dude is 6'4". He's physically, statuesque enough to, to be able to be like the Batman in the comics, but he's also a very polished actor.
When I saw The Social Network, I genuinely did not know that his twin brother was him. I didn't know. I that was the first time I was introduced to that actor.
Yeah.
He was off my radar for whatever reason. I don't even know what he did before then, but I wasn't aware of it. When I found out, because I loved that movie,
yeah,
and I walked out of the theater going, wow, what a powerhouse flick that was. And then I think it was the next day, I was reading something about how he played both characters, and I was gobsmacked. I mean,
why does he get a bad rep with fans? And it's not because of Lone Ranger?
Maybe, or because he's blonde, or I don't know.
So was Val Kilmer. They do have this stuff called hair dye.
Yeah.
Ben Affleck wore a frickin' wig as Bruce Wayne, which I don't understand why, but whatever. Come on. Okay, if you want me to, so who would I like to see?
Jake Gyllenhaal.
That ain't happening, but I would be happy with that. You know why? Why, Rick? Why would I be happy with Jake Gyllenhaal?
Because that guy gets lost in his roles, man.
He can act.
He can act. He's a serious actor. I don't understand when people mock him when that was on the table potentially with him. I'm like, have you seen his films? That dude is freaking. I mean, he's been kick-ass since Donnie Darko.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, he's one of those guys like Christian Bale, like Michael Keaton, that he's just a phenomenal powerhouse. He's talent.
Well, I'd say he's more like Bale. He's like Bale. He's a Bale type of actor.
Yeah.
He will physically change his look. He'll lose weight. He'll bulk up. He'll be, like in Nightcrawler, he looked like shit.
Right.
A guy looking, and
a guy of that stature.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about here. So yes, someone like that. That's a good. All right, Justin Lee wants to know. He's piggybacking off of another question, but he says, "Do you think we'll hear anything about Reeves' film on Batman Day?" Oh, I don't think they're going to circle Batman Day, Justin, and say we're going on Batman Day. We're going to announce the new Batman. I think they'll announce it like we talked about. If that film's if they're going to start filming early to mid next year, we'll know pretty soon. I don't think they'll target a particular day just because it's Batman Day, but maybe they do. Maybe they do. Who knows? Rick, any thoughts on that?
It's possible. Somebody was asking me the other day about Star Wars announcements. I said, I bet that happens in Celebration next year. That's not really the same thing, Batman Day and Star Wars Celebration, because that's anyway. I'm gonna break that down. I don't know. I doubt it.
But it's coming.
Has there ever been any major Batman on film announcements on Batman Day that I'm not aware of?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Batman Day is relatively new, so
yeah.
I don't think it's
5 years old, 10 years old.
I wish they would do. I wish DC would do something like Star Wars Fan Con or whatever the hell it's called. Have a convention just for DC stuff. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
To do.
Isolate it more than Comic-Con and all that. Just very specific DC.
Yeah.
And then Marvel will have one, and then everybody will be talking about whose attendance was higher. It's never going to end.
Yep. All right. I think that's it. If I did not get to your questions, I will be doing a regular Batman on Film mailbag here shortly. So that's going to do it for that, Rick. I did prepare this or that for you. I know you did not for me. That's my fault, actually. But do you want to do one?
Let's do a quick this or that, and we'll wrap this thing up.
All right. You ready?
I'm ready.
Here it is.
And after we rebrand the show, this is going to be a regular occurrence. We're going to do this with every guest that we have on and everything. And we're going to commit to this because this is
send us this or that ideas. Okay, it's really. It's self-explanatory. It's this or that. You're supposed to rapid fire it.
It's great fun. Go.
Okay, Motorhead or Megadeth?
Gosh. I can't rapid fire that one because Motorhead is Megadeth. Go.
Chicago.
See, I was already breaking the rules with it. You got to just go.
Chicago and New York City.
Pound for pound, New York City.
Okay.
2 of my favorite cities, though.
Okay, here. This is very Texan here, Jake. Rick. Talking to my son there for a second.
I'm still a half-inch taller.
Okay. Your jalapenos, grilled, fresh grilled, or pickled?
Oh, fresh grilled. I'm not really pickled anything. I'm not a pickled person.
Okay.
That's an easy one.
That's it. You got anything
All right.
to plug?
Great political discussion with myself, our very own Chris Clow, and our frequent guest and friend Zaki Hassan on Left Shoe Politics. Just check that out if you're interested. It's a good chat. And follow me on Twitter at Shewrick, SHEWRICK, and follow us on, what's your handle? At Batman on Film.
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at Batman on Film, and just going over to Batman on Film proper and check out all the stuff that's going on there. Lots of stuff. I bring back. I'm a history guy, and I do a lot of Batman history stuff. So if you like that sort of thing, it's there. I think. And I love all the comic book reviews. It's like I'm reading stuff, and I'm running the comic book store and picking stuff up and reading it myself. So it's a good source if you're also just looking for stuff to read or stuff that you've read. You're curious to know people's views. The reviews are fantastic. And I want to give a shout out to Justin and Ryan for their comic book centric podcasts, man, are so good. And I don't know the number. The one they did with Paul Herman and Chris Clow recently, that's a damn fine Batman on Film podcast. That's and on how to adapt.
Yeah. They talk about the
comic to film.
Yes, and these guys don't miss a beat with anything. And I told them, I said, I very rarely listen to a show that I'm not on that you guys did that I would feel like that I couldn't contribute to it. That one, I think that for half of it, I would have been just sitting there going, I'm lost. I mean, these guys break down the history of everything, and there's a really cool discussion about Daredevil and the Affleck film, and Justin talks. I mean, it's great. Chris and Paul are fantastic on it. Ryan, I'm very proud of those guys with that show. And I don't have the number in front of me, but it's easy to find whatever that number is. And I'm spontaneously plugging it, but yeah, check it out.
All right, so that's about it. Hello, look at my shirt here, Rick. Can you see it?
Oh, there you go. Like I did this earlier, I think, didn't I?
Yeah,
I got my UT one.
Well, since it is, I don't know if you're late. Today is the kickoff of the NFL.
Today is the.
Well, it's not the kickoff is Thursday, but then today is the first NFL Sunday of the 2018 season. So it's almost like Christmas morning for me because I love NFL football. All right, that's going to be it. Thanks for watching the show, and what's going to be got a new name coming, new logo, and a better looking. Technologically better looking Rick Shew coming soon as well. So, Batman on Film, Rick. Batman on Film. This website. Authoritative, definitive, and
the dadgum original.
Thanks for watching.
I'm fine tuning it. Later, guys.